with legendary barbecue since 1975. At that time, Dave co-founded the family catering business Stump and Sons. He has catered barbecue parties for the majority of the Fortune 500 companies here in Atlanta and throughout the Southeast. Dave has been preparing competition quality barbecue and winning competitions for 3 decades. After only a few years in the business, he became the first grand champion of the Georgia State Barbecue Championship. Since then, Dave has accumulated a multitude of wins in numerous states up and down the East Coast. Most recently, he has won the Grill Master Award at Taste of Marietta in 2006, 2007, 2010, and he won the Blaze of Barbecue Award this year. His restaurant also received the highest rating from Zagat, Extraordinary to Perfection. His award-winning Q has covered the Southeast, pleasing the most sophisticated connoisseurs. Over the years, he has had the honor of feeding everyone from U.S. senators, presidents, and governors to Charlie Daniels, from Coca-Cola to the Atlanta Symphony, Vince Dooley, and everyone in between. Dave Poe.
All right.
Next up, we have Mike Girardi. Where's Mike? Come on up, Mike. Mike grew up in the Midwest, learning to cook on an open brick pit he helped his dad build at only 11 years old. While serving in the Marine Corps, he was famous for barbecuing sea rations. His grill generally consisting of an oven rack and 2 cinder blocks. For the past 27 years, he's been in the HVAC trade and has been glad to find some recent success representing his employer as Team Comfort Zone. 7 years ago, he started the Grill and Gas Passer barbecue team. And 2 years later, Primo Ceramic Grills asked him to represent them across the Southeast. After 50 competitions and gaining 50 plus pounds, he retired from the circuit and now competes in 4 or 5 cook-offs a year, all local backyard events. Mike has written 2 books, Addicted to Barbecue and From Backyard to Big Time, Competition Barbecue Secrets, available at Amazon.com. And he was also most recently the Smoke on the Lake Grand Champion 2 years running up in Akron. Mike Girardi.
I'm coming in to your voice.
All right, and with Mike, we've got Pete Warner. Pete, where are you? There you are. Come on up. Pete is Mike's partner in the competitions. He started 25 years ago, but he just started in the competition arena and found out it was way more fun than he thought. So he's going to be up here to tag team with Mike. Pete Warner. And Larry Pendleton. Come on up, Larry. Larry has been with Dreamland Barbecue since 1993. He has 40 years of restaurant experience, over half of which was in barbecue. He was also at McGuire's in Pensacola, for those of you familiar with that. He was at one time the director of operations over all the Dreamlands and is now the general manager of the Roswell location. He was also on an episode of Road Tasted with the Dean Brothers, and he trained with Big Daddy of Dreamland. Larry Pendleton. Okay, and tonight our moderator is one of the museum's favorite people. Richard Coker's been here many times, and usually he's here to lecture on one of his wonderful Civil War fiction books, but tonight he's here for barbecue, and we thank him for coming. Richard has written, produced, edited, and or directed 2 seasons of the popular PBS television series Barbecue America with Rick Brown. Like most Southern-born Americans, Richard has an opinion or 2 about barbecue, absolutely none of which agree with Mr. Brown's. The show's host, made popular by his red checkered tablecloth chef's smock, aggravates Mr. Coker by putting sugar in his cornbread. Rick also thinks that chicken cooked on a grill while squatting on a can of beer can rightfully be referred to as barbecue. Coker says, I tend to agree with the late telejournalist Leroy Powell, bless his soul, who once contended that if it ain't pig meat, it ain't barbecue. But if there was ever an arena where opinions truly don't count, Coker says, it's in the barbecue kitchen where your most favorite may be my least favorite, and both of us are right. Hey, he adds, if it weren't for sports and barbecue, we'd have to argue about politics. Richard is also the author of 3 books: To Make Men Free, a novel of the Battle of Antietam; No Greater Courage, a novel of the Battle of Fredericksburg; and now, for something completely different, the companion book to the PBS documentary, The Boomer Century. Richard Crooker.
Thank you very much. And many of you have a copy of the manuscript, one chapter of my hopefully upcoming new book entitled Y'all is Already Plural. And it's a guide for people who are not from around here, if you know what I mean. I hope you'll enjoy it, and I'm soliciting contributions and comments. If you have a mama story that's original and humorous, or a Southernism that's original and humorous, mama and them is not original. Just saying. Send it to me on my website, and as it says on the cover, you might get it published, and the odds of you getting paid for it are slim and none, and Slim just got on the bus. So there's that. Now I'm going to start with something else very important. I want you all to know this. This is a photograph of my brand new granddaughter who was born 12 days this afternoon. And also, to get things going on, she has an older brother who's about to turn 3, and I took a picture of him on the week of his first birthday, his first Dreamland barbecue rib. I do like Dreamlands. So we're just gonna have a conversation tonight about all things barbecue. And now they did print that little snippet in the Marietta Daily Journal where I quoted Leroy Powell. Y'all remember Leroy Powell? Well, Leroy Powell. But his slogan was, "If it ain't pig meat, it ain't barbecue." Now they quoted me in the Marietta Daily Journal is quoting him on that, and I got hate mail. I'm telling you, from friends. I love my barbecue chicken. Hey, it's fine, really. What we're going to talk about, we've got a tasting table back here for us with all kinds. These gentlemen brought all kinds of flavors of different sauces. So maybe we should just start there and talk about the different kinds of sauces that are available. I told you, I'm a Dreamland guy. Dreamland is a vinegar-based sauce, spicy, and referred to generally as North Carolina-style sauce. Is that right? Sort of. Alabama. They're out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And if you know me, you know I used to work for Turner Sports back in the old days and traveled with the Braves and did some college basketball. We liked college basketball because we got to go to Tuscaloosa. And we would pull up to Dreamland, the original Dreamland, in a Greyhound bus and unload 40 people out to get slabs of ribs and Dreamland sauce. Now their slogan, I believe, and this is a paraphrase: no beans, no slaw, no stew, don't ask.
Well, it was no beans, no slaw, no potato salad, don't ask. That was back a long time ago.
That was they've gone forward. Their menu was a whole slab or a half slab and some Wonder Bread. And it was fine. So, but anyway, that's so. But you've got, and I'm not an expert. You know, they've got me on here because I produced a television show. Let me tell you how expert you have to be to produce a television show. I also produced a documentary about smoke jumpers. Do not assume that I have ever jumped out of an airplane and put out a forest fire with a hatchet. I have not done that, okay? I'm going to make television shows. So, but I made this television show with Rick Brown. Just one more word about Rick before we get started here. All together now. Bless his heart. Come on, all together. Bless his heart. And he's from Canada. Anything that's cooked outside over an open flame is barbecue. But he came to me and said, if you'll write and produce and direct and edit my show, I will take you to Valencia, Spain, where we will have some barbecued paella. Yeah. Forgive me, Stonewall, for I have sinned. Kind of like the length of Spain. And we went there, the paella was delicious, but it ain't barbecue. Anyway, so that's my deal. I traveled with him, I wrote, produced, and directed the show, and that's why I'm here. These guys are the experts. So I'm going to yield to them, but we're going to talk about, I'm going to let each one of them go down the line and just talk about the kind of sauce he makes, the kind of sauce he prefers, and how it's put together. And let's start.